What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris for game number 2 between Fnatic and no Tidehunter. Fnatic on the Radiant this time, and no Tidehunter, of course, on the Dire. No Tide taking the first game, and we have some really peculiar bans coming out of this one. Fnatic going to ban out the Lone Druid, as well as the Chen, two heroes that posed Fnatic so much trouble in that last game. And because of those picks, that means Nyx, Keeper, they're all going to get in, and Wisp we see already is being picked up from no Tide. So we're going to see some real top-tier hero action in this game. Nyx, Assassin, and Batrider, just do it, Fnatic, just do it. We know you want to do it. So, oh wait, no, not Batrider, Keeper, go for it. So yeah, no Tide, bring the heat early on versus Fnatic, and Fnatic running a really weird strategy. I've seen them run an Alchemist before, I've seen them run the Gyrocopter before, I've seen them run the Phantom Lancer before, but not all at the same time, and that's, I mean, the Alchemist really didn't have that much of an impact on the game, and then Admiral Bulldog's Lone Druid completely shut down Trixie's Gyrocopter on the top lane, and solo mid laning the Phantom Lancer, not sure if I would necessarily recommend that. So Fnatic, the two broken heroes that they're going to pick up they're going to be the Nyx Assassin as well as the Magnus. So they could go pretty much anywhere from that one, but really no Tide, they are going to have the very key hero of the Wisp, which is a hero that, you know, even though you see a lot of bans these days of the kind of similar heroes, Nyx Assassin, Wisp, Batrider, Keeper the Light, it's Wisp, I feel, that gets through the least, just because you have to change your playstyle so much when you play against the Wisp. Kind of similar for the Nyx Assassin, but we'll see if no Tide want to pick up the other quote-unquote broken hero, or to start to, you know, settle their lineup without that Keeper of the Light. Keeper of the Light Wisp is a decent tri-lane setup for whoever carry they're going to go for. Probably going to be CK if they want to pick that one up right now. You get a lot of mana flowing. However, the Wisp's tether stun isn't the greatest. And, well, there you go. Wow. Great job, me. Good work. Wisp Keeper like CK, they'll have the decent range for Aspen, but if it comes down to a try versus try situation, the soft nature of the Wisp as well as the Keeper of the Light will mean that Fnatic should have an edge there. However, Fnatic haven't really shown their hand at all. Picking up the Magnus as well as the Nyx could be a offlane Magnus or a mid lane Magnus. Nyx could be a support or a mid lane. So Fnatic really keeping their cards close to the chest, whereas no Tide going to go straight forward and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to lane the CK Keeper as well as the Wisp, probably in the hard lane, and then get Admiral Bulldog something nice and easy to get that safe lane with. And Fnatic, actually, that's going to show their hand a little bit. A Storm Spirit pickup from them. Usually Storm Spirit does survive into the later rounds, with the mid bans favoring the likes of the Queen of Pain as well as the Puck. Fnatic picking up that hero right off the bat is a hero that can escape those relocates very easily, as well as Magnus, I guess. Not so much for Magnus, but Ball Lightning will save him from any of those nasty relocates from the Wisp, and then they will have, of course, a very solid mid lane. Storm Spirit is a pretty good one. No Tide probably going to look towards the Queen of Pain or Puck themselves. I wouldn't be surprised to see Fnatic ban those heroes out, but the Storm Spirit, Magnus, as well as the Nyx means that Fnatic are going to be overflowing with initiation power. Like, they're going to be fighting. Who was going to initiate? You were going to initiate? I thought I was going to initiate. That kind of thing. Of course, you know, they're better than that, so it'll be, you know, a little bit more sophisticated and professional, but really, they have all the opportunities in the world to jump onto no Tidehunter, and no Tidehunter are going to have to be careful about that, especially if it's the Wisp being jumped. Usually if you jump on someone, the other three besides the Wisp CK, then the Wisp CK will be right on the ball. They'll come in immediately with that relocate, and then you're going to have a full team fight on your hands. But if you go for the Wisp, and the Storm Spirit can do that, go for the Wisp, then you're going to pressure the Wisp, means his relocate isn't going to come out, and if it does come out, it's not going to be all that effective. So Storm Spirit is a pretty good pickup in this situation, and they're going to be looking for their hard carry, whether it be the Phantom Lancer or a Gyrocopter still in the pool. Yeah, Gyrocopter still in the pool. So, you know, Fnatic could still shore up their hard carry role, or they could just go full on with the early mid game pressure. Storm Spirit as the quote unquote carry, although I don't think it's the best way to run him. It could apply a lot of pressure early on, and hey, it gets people wins, so I guess the results is all that matters. But I still think that Fnatic needs someone to go with that Nyx, and they do need another support here as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Gyrocopter being the final ban from no Tide, because they don't really need another carry hero. They need a hero for S4 as well as for Admiral Bulldog, and really the hard carries aren't the type of heroes that those two players play. So no Tide. We'll probably look for, I said it already, the mid lane. Hard lane, a Clockwork won't be too bad for them, or they take something a little bit more traditional, I guess, with the Windrunner or a Bounty Hunter. But the ban is actually going to be a Night Stalker. Has seen S4 run that Night Stalker, and well, NS and CK, that's a very devastating combo. You could run, but you can't hide. And actually, you can't even run because those heroes will have just so much movement speed, they won't even give you a chance to run. They'll be right on top of you, and they will not let go until you are dead. Not exactly the best way of putting that, I realize, but still, that duo of heroes, if they both get their farm independently, then they'll be able to bring the heat and bring it on hard. So no Tide, what is going to be their final ban? Going to burn through all their time, of course.
5 seconds
Just ban
remaining.
the gyro, man. I mean, we all know that you're going to do it. We all know. It's not going to be a surprise. It's I already called it. So why waste all of our time and not ban someone else? It might not be what Fnatic are actually planning, but the call down will be really, really good for their team. And I do think they need a little bit of right-click damage to actually kill off that CK. Storm Spirit does do a lot of damage with that overload as well as all of his spell casts. But really, against CK, you need something a little bit more intense. It's actually going to be banned up to Nature's Prophet. So getting rid of that jungle hero from Fnatic going to make the lanes... well, they're going to force another hero into the lane, at least, unless Fnatic want to pick up something like the Enchantress or the Enigma, which probably isn't going to happen. You don't really want to have an Enigma when there's a Wisp CK on the other end. The stuns are going to flow, and you can't get a black hole off, and you're going to get ganked, and you're going to be sad, and just a whole bunch of unpleasantness is going to happen from that. So Nature's Prophet getting rid of that global presence, making sure that No Tide are going to be the only ones bouncing around the map and getting those aggressive ganks
10
off.
seconds remaining.
Unless Fnatic want to go for something like a Tinker, which that's not going to happen with Storm
5
Spirit
seconds
pickup.
remaining.
I feel like these picks are happening just like really, really slow.
Reserve time.
Granted, I understand why no Tidehunter are taking this long, because with a lineup like Fnatic's, you don't really know what direction they're going to go towards. But really, for Fnatic, it should be pretty easy. TA Night Stalker, not the most conventional mid heroes. I guess right now they're debating between banning out the
10
Puck
seconds
and Queen of
remaining.
Pain. So I'm pretty sure, I'm like 80%
5
sure that
seconds remaining.
one of those heroes is going to get through. Bounty Hunters, actually. They're going to aim a ban towards Admiral Bulldog. So I guess I am now 100% sure that they're going to get through. I'm going to say 80% sure that No Tide is going to pick up one of those two heroes. Because why not guess when nothing is actually happening there? I really shouldn't talk that way about the draft. The draft is important, guys, but you know, if you go to any Join Dota video, there's always that top-rated comment that says, you know, 9 minutes, 22 seconds for the game, and everyone clicks it because the drafts usually are pretty similar, but No Tide going to go with the Clockwork as their hero for Admiral Bulldog. Get that long-range initiation, get even more global presence with that Rocket Flare. Not the hugest of global spells, I realize, but still, it's a little bit of some things that Fnatic are not going to be able to really split push very well, and No Tide, that's going to give them a lot of split push, even if Clockwork is on the top lane. If he wants to push down the bottom lane, just send out a Rocket Flare,
5
and then
seconds
possibly Wisp
remaining.
CK could follow up with a relocate. Clockwork also giving them a lot of stun. No Tide are pretty much overflowing with stun. They'll have more than enough to lock down that Storm Spirit. Support pick from Fnatic is going to be the Shadow Demon. So Shadow Demon, Nyx Assassin, so far a really good setup from those two heroes. Still do need that hard carry if they are going to go in that direction. And No Tide still do need that mid lane hero. Unless they want to run something really weird, but Loda already has that CK to play, so I don't think he's really going to chime in and get them a really weird mid lane hero. There you go, Puck. Get even more control for that Storm Spirit. Silence as well as that Dream Coil. Storm Spirit's not going to have the best time this game. He's going to have to be really, really quick with his fingers to dodge all these stuns. But being that quick is pretty impossible. So, yeah, No Tide are more than prepared to deal with the Storm Spirit. However, are they prepared to deal with the Phantom Lancer that's coming as their final pick from Fnatic?
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know. They don't really have that much AoE besides the Keeper. Actually, they do have
5
decent
seconds
amounts.
remaining.
And if they could lock down the Phantom Lancer, then they should be fine to kill him off. Oh man, I'm wrong. Gyrocopter. I predicted that before, so I'm going to chalk that one up as a partial win. But Gyrocopter Shadow Demon is, of course, a very devastating combo. Combine that with an Assassin guaranteed stun, and whoever's on that lane versus that tri-lane is going to be in for a world of hurt. However, no, Tidehunter, if they decide to go try versus try, which I'm pretty sure they will want to do, then they should be able to hold their own, because they do have the control, they do have the burst. Fnatic do have some pretty good burst as well, so it's really going to be who gets focused by that initial stun from no Tidehunter or disruption from the Shadow Demon. And then how do the teams follow up with that? How many creeps does the Rocket Barrage hit? Does the Tether stun land with that Reality Rift? Stuff like that will depend on who wins in a try versus try situation. And of course, Nick's Assassin with the Mana Burn going to help out as well, probably from the get-go.
10 seconds remaining.
Aki's going to take a little bit of time to get to that level 2 mark to get that Chakra magic flowing. Alright, Fnatic, let's do this. Come on. What? Okay. I guess Fnatic don't want to do it. I guess we'll go over who's on the no Tidehunter side, I guess. They should have an easy time here because it's 5 versus 1. And I usually think that 5 win versus 1. It could be a little bit of an exception being in the pro scene. But yeah, I don't really feel good about the Storm Spirit's chances alone. Aki is going to be playing support once again as the Keeper of the Light. Eggum is going to be playing that Wisp, partnering off with Live and Let Loda on the CK. S4 handling the mid lane. Puck, and Admiral Bulldog is going to be playing that Clockwork. And Fnatic, we have only Ira on the Storm Spirit. Hard carrying Ira as not hard carrying Ira as well. Trixie's going to be captaining that Gyrocopter No Tail on the Shadow Demon. Hani's going to be playing the Magnus, and N is going to be playing the Nyx Assassin. So we're going to see a little bit of a lane mix-up. Possibly Trixie heading towards the solo lane himself. It is going to be Ira heading down towards the bot lane. Hani with boots first. Now that is interesting. Trixie usually plays a side lane, but he's going for solo mid. And Hani with boots first means that he wants to go into a side lane. Solo, of course. So Fnatic doing a little bit of the swapping of roles. Maybe Trixie just feels really comfortable in that Gyrocopter, even though last game he kind of got completely shafted by the unlucky entangles, or I guess lucky entangles from no Tidehunter, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, a little bit of a switch up from Fnatic. Shouldn't mean all that much. Still going to be a tri-lane from Fnatic on the spot lane, trying to get Storm Spirit as much as farm as he can, because Storm Spirit can get to that level 6 mark really quickly. That means his ganking is going to be very, very easy. And of course, getting the farm means that the Wisp, the Keeper, as well as the Puck are going to be in a lot of trouble, because Ira is most likely going to head straight towards a, the Orchid. Probably not a Bloodstone. That's a little bit of an outdated, unfavorable build. But yeah, the Orchid on the Storm Spirit is going to make ganking so very easy, and supported by N, is going to be pulling as well as No Tail. He should be just fine to make all that farm happen. Admiral Bulldog in the spot lane. Not going to try to do any of those cog shenanigans. I don't think he can actually reach it in time. But he might. Oh, it's going to be close. Go for it. Yeah, he's going to get it. Cogs holding back the creeps. Letting 2 out, but you know, whatever, the range creep got out. So he's just going to try to survive on this bottom lane. He should be okay to do so, at least until Ira gets to that level 6 mark. However, Hani, what you doing? What you doing, Hani? Why are you... Wait, what? Okay, so Trixie's going to be playing the mid lane, I guess, versus S4. He should have a decent time there versus the Puck. The harassment will always be there. But Hani completely abandoning that top lane, not even going to try to stand up there versus Loda. I guess that kind of makes sense. If you go up there, you're pretty much screwed. But really, Magnus isn't the most proficient jungler unless you do some weird cliff shenaniganry with the dire side jungle. He's going to look for a very early gank, and Puck does have that illusory orb, but if he gets screwed back, it could be in a little bit of trouble. Skewer of only 600 distance, though, not the biggest range on that one. So I'm not exactly sure how Fnatic are going to open up this game with this. Don't know if it's actually going to be really effective, because Trixie should be fine this lane. Although 3 for 1 versus 4 for 2. Puck actually doing a lot of harassment to the Gyrocopter. He doesn't have his bottle yet. Puck is going to need a lot more gold to get to his bottle. Having purchased up a Null Talisman means that he doesn't have that remainder gold from starting off to get that extra gold for the bottle, of course. But Hani's still not doing anything. What are you doing? he's literally doing nothing right now. So it is pretty much a 4 vs 5 right now because Fnatic, their supports are actually doing things. Aki and Eggum, they're stacking, they're pulling, they're getting some creep kills. And Hani is not. He has a Smoke of Deceit. What the hell is going on? The Wizard doesn't know what's going on either. Ira is, though, getting farm on the bottom lane. He's going to have to go up against the farm from Loda. He actually is getting a little bit more gold than Loda. But Loda should be able to recover that. Once Eggum, oh, he's missing last hits, that's why. Very uncharacteristic of Loda. But once the Wisp hits his level 6, they could go for some very aggressive ganks around the map. S4 taking a little bit of pressure once again from Trixie, looking for a Rocket Barrage. Not going to happen, however. And Hani smoked up, but still only level 1 Magnus. This isn't really a threat. No Tide, they're going to be completely okay with letting Loda farm on the top lane without contention from anyone else. Here comes Hani, possibly going to try to get the courier. Trixie looking for the courier, actually silence from S4, and S4's got to be careful because here comes Hani. Skewer is not going to be dodged. S4 might drop before Trixie. Trixie is going to get first blood by killing off S4 and killing off the entire courier. There you go from Fnatic, and now Trixie, though, in a little bit of trouble. No Tail should be able to support him decently, taking the creep aggro. And the tower's getting pushed just a little bit. Aki without mana to let loose another blast for another 3, 2, 1, but already Trixie salving up. Disruption from No Tail going to bring him a little bit more time as well. Aki going to charge his cannon, fire it off as well, do heavy damage to Trixie as well as No Tail. Hani should be fine. Admiral Bulldog setting up some cogs, trying to force No Tail back towards his team. Illusion Rope's going to fly out, and the right clicks from Puck will do the job versus the Shadow Demon. Going to jaunt forward for that Magnus. Magnus a little bit too quick. Magnus drawing the first blood, or helping the Gyrocopter draw first blood, combined with that courier kill, means that even though the Magnus didn't really do anything for the first 3 minutes of the game, he redeemed it purely because he opened up that opportunity for Gyrocopter to get that courier kill, which arguably is more important than getting Magnus anything in the early stage, because now everyone gets a little bit of gold. Most importantly, Ira is going to get that extra bit of gold, which means that the Orchid is going to become that much faster. And on top of that, the bottle is up on Puck, but he's not going to be able to bottle Crow for another minute and 50 seconds. So Puck in this lane is pretty much shut down for that amount of time. He's going to have to rely on the rune control to really make that happen, but you can see that is already not going to happen. No Tail finding that haste rune. And S4, his bottle is not going to be able to be crowed back to the base. So very, very important early game pickup from Fnatic. First blood as well as a courier. Things can't really go much better for them there. However, they still have the problem of Hani because he is not really getting anything done. He's not stacking camps. He's not clearing off any camps, not even the easy one. He's just constantly looking for smoke ganks. And that's not necessarily a bad thing if they keep working, but I don't really think they're going to keep working. Admiral Bulldog, though, in a little bit of trouble. Ira just needs one more creep kill to hit that level 6 mark. There's the disruption. Ira's going to move straight forward for that electricity, and the skewer forward from Admiral Bulldog is going to push him in. Shadow Demon does get the kill off. Hani getting another kill assist, so he's level 3, making some things happen. However, the Clockwork, actually he's getting a little more than the Clockwork, so Hani really, really risking it all, just going purely into those hero kills. So he's making it happen. Level 3 on the Magnus, not bad. Not bad at all. Could be a lot worse at the very least. However, Loda, he's getting a lot of farm on this top lane, and already Fnatic have lost their tier 1 top lane tower, and Aki, with the level 1 Illuminate, they'll be able to go straight for a tier 2 attempt. Damage from Chaos Knight. They do have a siege creep on top of that. Eggum, oh, Flying Courier, bought in the stash. That's unfortunate. That means he was trying to upgrade it, but it wasn't in time. Loda gonna pop off that Phantasm. Look for that tower. Hani, though, has arrived to this top lane finally, level 3. Really, he cannot afford to stay up here. If he gets Reality Rifted back, the tether is going to stun him, then he's just going to die, because he doesn't even have any mana. But even if he did have mana, he would be screwed regardless. Courier finally coming up. Did it have any important items? No, it didn't. Its last death wish was that S4 would get his bottle, and that is a wish that was fulfilled. It could have been a lot worse for no Tidehunter. If S4 didn't get his bottle, then he would have been completely shut down on that mid lane. But he has recovered now that he does have access to that Crow, and he's going to try to look for the top rune. Not going to happen. It's going to be N on the bottom lane, taking that regeneration rune, so more spamming can come out from him. But really, Admiral Bulldog getting pressured back really far, holding down the lane, or at least trying to. But Ira, level 6, he also has the Magnus, who's a higher level, on his team. So overall, it is favoring Fnatic, despite the fact that Hani hasn't really showed his face on that top lane, just purely wandering around. They have burned a couple of smokes early on, but burning a smoke for a kill, that's always worth it. At least I guess for most of the time, unless it gets really late game, in which case it's probably not worth it. You need to get more than just a kill. But Fnatic, they're making the investments early game, and they're paying off, albeit not hugely. But really, as long as your Magnus gets something, then that should be a good situation for them. So 2-1 is the score. No Tidehunter who with S4 getting one of those kills, or the only one of those kills. He's going to head towards his Blink Dagger as fast as he can. He does have Aki waiting in the wings for an Illuminate. Trixie, is he going to break the tether? He's going to take some heavy damage. There's the jaunt forward. Going to do some heavy damage as well as the Rocket Flare. Trixie's going to survive, however, S4 got to run away. He's going to get a little bit of mana from Aki, but a level 1-4, actually, Rocket Barrage is going to kill him off. And Hani getting another kill assist, third assist for him. He's been involved in every single kill so far. No Tide with a pretty good setup using that Dream Coil in combination with the fully charged Illuminate. But in the end, that just wasn't enough. Rocket Flare is looking for someone. No Tail, he's going to be fine. The Rocket Flare level 2 only, so not enough damage to snipe him off. And No Tide not starting the game really as they wanted to, even though Loda is still getting free farm in his top lane, just now finishing his drums. He hasn't really had any opportunities to get kills just because there hasn't been anyone on the lane, and Eggum still not yet level 6, so No Tide really need for that Wisp to hit that level 6 mark so that they can make these kind of even ganks become gruesomely overpowered ganks. Loda is going to be able to kind of turn the tide. CK, once he hits that, well, he get opponent Phantasm, but once he hits that level 9 mark, I guess, he will be able to lay down some hurt with that Reality Rift, and Eggum is not actually going into the lane for that experience. I guess they just want the CK to get those levels, but I guess Eggum wants to... What are you doing? You need to get this level 6 eventually, man. And the sooner the better. Pull? Oh, he actually had... Okay, I thought the tree was there. Okay, he's gonna pull, that's fine. I didn't notice that the tree was gone. I just realized that he couldn't tether to anything, so I'm like, those trees aren't going to disappear, but they've already disappeared, so it's going to be just a straight pull for Wisp. That's going to give him his level 6. That means the bot lane's got to be a little bit careful, although mid lane, missing a huge team fight. There's the Gyrocopter already taking out Keeper of the Light. S4 is going to get a 2-man Dream Coil, but it's really not enough. Hani going to secure up to the high ground. Does he have level 6? Of course he does not. Here comes the Relocate, though. Eggum has got his level 6. It's going to be Trixie taking a 4-second stun, as well as the Reality Rift. Loda's going to swipe him down in 2 hits, and the Wisp on the chase going to land all his spirits onto No Tail. Loda with the movement speed from the tether will be able to chase down the Shadow Demon, although another set of spirits, the Impale holding off the Wisp for that relocate to timeout, and Loda's going to take a mana burn before he does go back, but a successful relocate, finally getting that level 6 up from Wisp, and that was a surprise for Team Fnatic. They did not see that one coming. They did pay the price for that. Flare even going to latch onto No Tail. But S4 did get out of there alive, dropping that Dream Coil, and did make something happen out of it with the help of that relocate. But 4-2 is the score for Fnatic, and I think Magnus was involved in the last one. No, he wasn't. Finally wasn't involved in one of those kills. Rocket Flare is continuing to seek out someone. A little bit too late, man. No Tail's already at full health. Admiral Bulldog trying to be a baller. Fortunately, is not quite there. All the while, Ira on the spot lane actually going to go straight for a BKB. Not going to go aggressive, going to go defensive items on this Storm Spirit. I would have thought the Orchid would be the order of the item of choice. They have a Puck, they have a Wisp, who's taking a lot of damage from these creeps. Oh no, please don't, Eggum. Please don't. Eggum, no. Oh, god damn it, Eggum, why you gotta do this to me, man? Oh wow, if he died to neutrals there, that would be embarrassing. Although, yeah, he does have unreliable gold, so yeah, that would be embarrassing. But Wisp barely managing to escape the clutches of the hard camp. Oh man, Eggum, that should not have happened. That was silly. S4 still working towards his Blink Dagger, and let's see how the Gyrocopter is doing. Almost does have his drums completed as well, however, Loda already does have those. Hani on the top lane, trying to get a little bit of experience, wants that level 6, however, Loda is powerful enough to kill off the Magnus by himself, and he's actually going to go for Chaos Strike, as opposed to maxing out his Reality Rift. I don't agree with this. Reality Rift is so important. You need that bonus damage as well as the range to get initiation off. Although here comes Relocate. I don't know who's tethered to him. It's going to be S4 as well as the Wisp. Hani taking a ton of damage. Burst Polarity though. One more hit is going to do it. Hani's going to escape death, albeit barely. The stun is going to fly through and kill him off. Ira is going to kill off one. The Wisp is going to drop the Impale onto Loda as well as the call down. Loda's going to take a lot of damage from this one. He's probably going to drop Blinding Flash, pushing Trixie forward. And Loda, the mischance is working towards him. And Loda's on the run. He should be fine, popping off the drum charge. Trixie doesn't have his drums of his own. S4 as well as the rest of No Tidehunter already cleaned up the rest of Trixie's team. And he's going to drop as well as the Nyx. and somehow, some way, Loda survives. In the meantime, S4 as well as Admiral Bulldog coming into that fight, making sure that no Tidehunter ensure that team wipe, which they do get. And Hani, he did die to that stun eventually, although getting a 3-man versus Polarity broke that level 6 as soon as the engagement happened from No Tide. So very lucky from Fnatic to have that level 6, but really, there was not enough follow-up. But they are going to get the tier 2 tower deny, so I guess that's something going for them. But tier 2 tower deny in exchange for an entire team wipe, that's a lot of experience for no Tidehunter. It's going to favor them in the long run. Hell, even in the short run, it's going to favor them, I think. S4 is going to get that much closer to his Blink Dagger, and by that much closer, I mean 100% closer. Because he now does have it. Though he might be in a little trouble. You're going to make a long jump in. S4, very quick with that dodge, however, it's not going to be in time. Jaunt, barely dodging that Impale. Wow, Puck, really living on the edge there. And that Courier also taking a hit from the Storm Spirit. However, the Courier this time is going to survive despite his missing textures in the background. A lot of mana burn from Ira. 1200 gold. Went for a whole bunch of basic items instead of straight rushing something that really is a little bit bigger. He really, in my opinion, didn't need to go for these basic items because he had no pressure on him in this bottom lane, like absolutely none. Admiral Bulldog was around, but he really wasn't doing anything. So you could afford to just straight up rush a BKB or rush an Orchid. Level 1 boots, no magic wand. There's the initiation onto N, taking a 3-second stun on top of the tether. He's so very dead. Eggum getting that last right click in. Here comes the brutal combo that is Wisp and CK. We've seen it time and time again, and really they didn't even use a relocate for that one. They're going to wait for a little bit more opportune moment. Roshan, Golden Roshan, what you doing there? There you go. Go back home. The relocate in, and Loda is now going to go for an armlet. He's going to do some heavy damage. Already killing off the Nyx Assassin within the midst of one combo. Not the hugest of achievements, because Nyx Assassin is pretty darn soft, and he was chain stunned the entire time, but still the damage is there for no Tidehunter if they get those relocates in. But Fnatic, if they could get the initiation in very, very quick, they could pick off one hero, possibly two, before the relocate even has time to fully channel and bring in the powerhouse that is the CK and Wisp. So it's going to be really up to the burst from Fnatic, and that means it's going to be up to Trixie with the Rocket Barrage, up to Ira on that Storm Spirit to make things fully happen, and make that happen before Tidehunter could actually bring their support in. However, Aki is heading onto his mech, so that's going to allow for No Tide to wait that much longer until the CK and Wisp could actually tether relocate themselves into that fight. It's going to be a 15-16 minute mech on that Keeper. Actually, no, it's going to be 14 because he has it right now. Keeper with a very early mech, and is there a response mech on the other end? No, no one's even heading anywhere near a mech, so No Tide already having a pretty substantial at least item advantage in this game. Take a look at the gold graph, we see it, and join with the experience graph, both showing an advantage for no Tidehunter. They do have the hard carry, the Chaos Knight, versus the carry of the Gyrocopter. They both have similar items at this point. However, the CK does carry, I believe, a little bit harder, at least until the Gyro does get a BKB, so we could kind of shrug off a little bit of the CK's attacks. But CK Wisp is a devastating carry combination, and no Tidehunter, even if they just wait it out, they could do some really sick split pushing, put two on the top lane, put these three on the bottom lane, and then have that relocate ready for those fights, and they're going to catch No Tail, perhaps. Oh, no, what? Oh, there he is. Aki going to see him, and No Tail doesn't really have any stuns. There's the orb going to fly out. Disruption. Charging it up, and No Tail's going to take a silence as well as a relocate. I think that might have been a little bit overkill because that Shadow Demon was dead, Z's. But Loda swooped in, took the kill, and is he going to get sent back to the top lane? Yes, he is. Eggum and Loda going to return back to the top lane, push that out. In the meantime, the other three heroes on the bot lane, perhaps thinking of pressuring that out in a little bit of split push action. However, the relocate is only level 1, so the 90-second cooldown is going to mean that Eggum is not going to be able to provide the support to the bot lane for quite a while. Looks like that's not going to be their biggest of their problems, because there is a giant smoke gank heading towards the top lane from Fnatic. They do have enough stun with the Impale with the reverse polarity should they decide to use it. They might even catch the Courier once again. Loda, you got to be careful, and Eggum, oh, they're going to get converged upon N with that Vendetta, and Loda, he is none the wiser. There's the Impaled open up. However, he did get his armlet off. He's going to take so much burst damage. He's not going to stand a chance. No relocate. Going to get the Phantasm off, but the reverse Polarity burn, but Dream Coil onto 5, as well as the Clockwork hooking in. Unfortunately, hit one of his creeps. No Tail is going to die, but the Dream Coil doing so much damage, holding everyone in, but the follow-up from No Tide simply isn't there. Aki going to release his Cannon Blast right into the face of Ira. One more right click should do it. He's going to kill off the Storm Spirit. Meantime, the Nyx is going to try to get away, but Eggum, with the damage, is going to kill off that hero as well. And it's going to be 3 down for Fnatic, as Honey as well as Trixie both teleport out of there. Beautiful Dream Coil from that puck. But really, was it enough? Because No Tide, they did lose Loda, but that's about it. Because that Dream Coil just set up for a beautiful engagement. Admiral Bulldog zipping in, even though he hit one of the 2 melee creeps there. Didn't really matter because Burst Polarity was already burned. They already had a good fight from the get-go. They're going to try to get this tower now. Trixie wanting a deny. There's the disruption, and the tower will be denied. Gyrocopter even doing some heavy damage to S4. An Admiral Bulldog now out of his cogs. Going to take a mech, but here comes Relocate. Loda going to get a 2-second stun on Trixie. Not the most. Where's the Reality Rift? He's waiting for the Wisp, perhaps. Where is the Wisp? Wisp is dying in the back end. 2 Ira is going to get out of there just in time. The Illusion Orb blink forward, and S4 is going to finish off the Gyrocopter. Wisp is going to return with that Urn charge up. Going to give Loda a little bit more HP. Ira, though, a little bit of trouble. He's going to dodge that hook shot and try to get initiation onto Loda. The Vendetta from Nyx setting that one up. Rocket Flare going to kill off the Magus. In the meantime, Admiral Bulldog chopping N in that cogs for the Illuminate to wind up and fire. And now the cogs going to push them back, and it's going to split that Dream Coil. Ira now going to hide, and he's going to be the only one to survive. But No Tide buying back, actually. They do have Aki to recall the CK. It's going to be in time as well. So they want this tier 2 tower. They're going to get it as well. Taking the kills, taking the towers. No Tide looking really, really good this game. You see the advantage continuing to dip towards them. CK with his big items up in Fnatic. Storm Spirit still doesn't have his BKB despite free farm. Those couple of deaths really, really set him back, and well, he really needs that BKB. Even though they did get the initiation onto Loda with the help of the Nyx Assassin, just from the pure burst damage alone, eventually that's just not going to be enough, because CK is going to get tankier and tankier, and Storm Spirit, really his damage isn't going to increase by that much unless he builds like straight damage items or an Orchid or something like that. But by the time that comes up from the Storm Spirit, Loda at least should have a BKB. So yeah, I don't know, Fnatic, they don't really have that much damage coming out from Trixie either. So No Tide at this point. They have the magic damage coming out from the Keeper Light, as well as the Puck, who's been landing some pretty damn good Dream Coils. And although Fnatic do still have the initiation has always been coming from No Tidehunter. So the initiation really doesn't do you much if you don't use it. And No Tide have been doing the initiation with that Wisp CK, just hunting out for some kills with the blink forward from the Puck, also making that happen. And obviously a giant smoke once again. Fnatic looking to take out that CK one more time. They do have the reverse polarity to burn. But we all remember what happened last time. Loda is going to get ganked. He does have Eggum to support, and this time he does have relocate as well. Where's the relocate? It's going to be channeled right away, and is he going to get out of there alive? Loda is gonna die, not even trying to relocate. Here comes Puck for a 2-man Dream Coil. Ira is going to drop right away. S4 trying to dodge all spells, actually dodge Shockwave. He's gonna survive out of this one. Blink back as well, and gonna get initiation onto Eggum. He is gonna take him out, but there's the reverse polarity, gonna kill off another hero as Gyrocopter kills off the Puck. Admiral Bulldog a little bit late to the party, as well as Aki can't really do much in this fight. Impale onto Admiral Bulldog, and Trixie is there with the Rocket Barrage, gonna kill off the last of the Clockwork's HP. Cogs catching all of them, but it's not gonna be enough. Actually doing a little bit more damage on their way out, but no Tidehunter this time. Losing Chaos Knight, no buyback, no relocate attempt out from the Wisp, which is kind of surprising. If you see that many heroes, you think, okay, well, we got to get the hell out of here, because that is not a fight we're going to take, or that even if we do take that, it's not going to be one that we could win. But instead, the Wisp holding on to that relocate, possibly saving it for aggressive purposes, but Loda could have taken a free trip back to the base, and No Tide, they could have just been fine to wait that 10-11 seconds for Loda to get back into the base, because that means everyone would be kind of clustered around that little glowing blue mark on the ground, which means that the Puck would have an easy time diving in, which means that the Keeper would have more time to set up his Illuminate. That means Loda would have actually had a contribution to that fight, whereas in that fight, yes, he did take the call down, which I guess is something, but he didn't do any damage. He got the Phantasm out, and then he just died. So if No Tide can keep their CK alive, then they should be able to make drastically different fights happen. That's going to mean BKB, relocate onto N, got to run the other way. Aki's the other way. There's a Reality Rift, and one swipe going to kill him off. Possibly a little bit of overkill once again. Nick's Assassin, though, getting the kill is always worth it. Loda is going to be dropped off here by Eggum, who's going to return back towards the top lane. More flares going to fly through, and Aki try to do a little bit of creep jacking. Going to get that Wild Wing, sorry. And Loda on the spot lane with the help of S4. Going to take down this bot lane tower. S4 packing an ultimate orb, possibly going to head towards a Hex. Gyrocopter, though, is getting his BKB. Loda, 1,500 gold in the bank. Not really showing his hand about what he's going to head towards himself. However, I don't really think it's going to be anything but a BKB. Not going to help him versus the reverse polarity. But really, Fnatic can't do much damage to the CK, even if he does get stunned through that reverse polarity. Because all of their damage is magic, or most of it is. Load on spot lane, picking up a hammer. So it most likely is going to be a BKB. I'd be surprised to see a Desolator. Fortification slowing down this bottom lane push. In the meantime, Fnatic making a push of their own in the top lane. Fortification is up for no tide, so they can take this tier 2 tower and then bounce up to the top lane with TP scrolls. Let's see if that's going to be what they want to do. Fortification slowing it down. Trixie's still around. Tower does drop, however, Loda not really healthy enough to go to that tower, so he's going to just teleport back to the base. Everyone else is going to walk out. Clockwork does have his hook shot, not yet level 2, and he is packing a hood. And he goes straight for that pipe for his team. That's going to help them quite a lot versus the call down as well as the Storm Spirit. Magic damage prevention going to help them a lot. And team fight really from Fnatic, their items aren't coming along because Nyx has arcane boots, and that's it. They have a blink dagger on the Magnus, however, so that's going to be pretty big for Hani. But the mech up, the mech is up for no tide. The pipe will be up very, very shortly. Really, they have the bigger team fight at this point. It's going to be up to Fnatic to keep no Tidehunter off guard. If they can get the pick off before the fight even starts, just like last time onto Loda, it's going to be very, very different. Despite their team fight advantage that no Tidehunter have, they're going to die just because they don't have the numbers necessary to make that team fight happen. But if no Tidehunter get the initiation, if they keep everyone alive, if they take just like a straightforward 5v5 clash, then their team fight items will really, really help them pull through. Loda is continuing to get bigger and bigger, and what is core you're getting? It is going to be a full sheep stick for that Puck. So Puck's incredibly stacked right now. 729, 112 CS. Not really surprising that he has achieved this much farm, considering how active he's been around the map. Fortunately, BKBs are up for the Gyrocopter as well as the Storm Spirit, so the Puck is not going to find an easy opening with that sheep stick unless he just blinks sheeps, which is always a viable way of initiating. If you set up a relocate, then blink sheep, then that person is pretty much dead unless they're really quick with that BKB and really lucky with that BKB. But a blink sheep and a relocate for a 10-second BKB charge, I'll take that. It's not the worst trade in the world. As we push the 24-minute mark, 12-19 is the score. No Tidehunter still holding strong to their lead. Although Fnatic making a little bit of a push to reclaim that experience advantage. In the end, no Tide, it's still going to bend towards them. With BKB coming up in the CK, Fnatic, I feel like their time is almost like extremely limited. Even though they do have the Gyrocopter, who's, you know, a fantastic hard lane, hard carry, I'm sorry. Going up against a Wisp CK, that's just so incredibly deadly, unless you could nail out the Wisp with the Storm Spirit. So I guess that's going to be the goal for Fnatic, just try to kill the Wisp before the overcharge becomes a real problem. But then you have to deal with CK with Phantasm Illusions. He's only level 13, so level 2 Phantasm only at this point. But still, level 2 Phantasm will do a lot of work. Fnatic on the back foot just a little bit, though if they make some pretty aggressive plays happen with the initiation that they do have, Storm Spirit has yet to do those really solo gank kind of things that you usually expect to see from the Storm Spirits. And they can make a small comeback, at least bring themselves even in the golden EXP per minute chart. Trixie, come on Trixie, we're all waiting. Your team is depending on you to carry. Just gonna let them down like that. What a shame. Now S4, really? Come on, S4. Your team's depending on you for those Puck hexes. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Quarter speed. Pretty cool. Era on this top lane with support from the Magnus. Blink versus Polarity will probably be enough to kill out the CK, although with Eggum there to pull him out, I don't think that's actually a viable option. It's gonna be once again the 3-2 split from no Tide. what's going to be their goal? It's going to be bottom lane. It's being pushed out pretty aggressively. They got to send some flares down there. There they go. Flares already starting off, trying to put some momentum back towards that bottom lane. Really just Loda and Eggum farming it up, and Fnatic, they've been doing pretty well to prevent this so far, just using their smokes to catch the CK as well as Wisp off guard. But no Tide, they're going to split push the bottom lane, as well as Loda and Eggum just continuing to farm up. They want the BKB on the CK before the next fight happens, and they should be able to make that happen. Yeah, he's going to have his BKB. He'll just buy it up. Then possibly no Tide look for a very aggressive push. I mean, they're not exactly wasting their time. They're getting farm on the bottom lane as well as the jungle. However, here we go. Smoke once again from Fnatic. Are they going to smell this coming? No Tide. They don't have any ward coverage of that area, and Loda is in a little bit of trouble. Does have that Aegis, however, and he could get pulled out and is going to reveal no Vendetta. But they see the Magnus, and Loda spots that out. Where's the support coming in? They don't have Clockwork still in the bot lane, but everyone from Fnatic actually falling back. They don't know what the status is of TPs, which could be coming into the towers, and Loda just barely making it out of there alive. That was very, very dangerous for him. However, no harm, no foul. He's going to just go straight back to farming. Everyone from Fnatic can reveal themselves in this top lane, so no Tide going to know that something is up. And do they want to make a go on this? There's initiation, or possible initiation, tethered up. Loda, there's the relocate forward. They're going to get a stun to Loda, or Ira. No, it's not going to be in time, and Magnus deep in the jungle. Going to put himself even deeper. Relocate wasted this time. Everyone from Fnatic has fallen back successfully. And unfortunately, the Wisp dodging his bracer. That kind of sucks. No, but Loda does have enough money to complete up his BKB, which he does immediately. So now Fnatic are going to be up against a Magic Immune Chaos Knight. Aki walking around invisible, just trying to spot out what's happening. He's actually gone for a Rod of Atos. Very peculiar item. Does give you nice HP, although intelligence really not needed in the CK. He's going to pull someone back. Who's it going to be? It's probably going to be Chaos Knight. No, it's actually going to be the Puck. Blink forward for that silence, completely missing. Over Hex onto Trixie. They really needed that silence to land. However, it's just harassment. A lot burned for that one, but he's going to be fine to walk out of there. Rocket Flare are going to spot out Hani and is invisible with that Vendetta, looking for initiation on S4, and they got to fall back right away. Throwing out their last AoE spells before they do an end, going to take a lot of damage from that Illuminate. No, going to just dodge it. S4, oh. Phase shift, blink out. You got to blink out right now. Blink to the right. Dream Coil onto 2, but that's not going to be enough. There's not enough follow-up for this one. Lose your Orb as well as the dodge, and Admiral Bulldog getting latched straight in. However, the hookshot's slowing him down. He's got to let Loda out, get a Phantasm out of there, actually. The stun onto Hani is going to kill him off on the high ground. It's going to be the Wisp to take that kill, and Loda going to reality rift straight to the next target, which is going to be the Storm Spirit. The only one left alive is going to be Trixie. He's trying to get a kill on S4. That will be the only kill that Fnatic get if they manage to get it, and they don't even get it. They relocate in from no Tidehunter, once again showing how powerful this Wisp is and why you ban out the Wisp every single game. Really just the design of the hero is what makes him that powerful. And the CK with that BKB doing the damage, and really Admiral Bulldog getting that initiation as well onto the Nyx, holding him out, preventing that Impale from following through, meant that Puck could run just a little bit more, get that bottle charge going. And he did in the end survive. Now Eggum going to get brought back by Aki, probably going to bring the Wisp back in, the Puck back in a little bit as well to make an aggressive push on this bot lane. They do still have the Aegis, which is going to time out really, really shortly. Another 30 seconds to that one, so we're going to see Loda playing as suicidally as he can to make good use of that Aegis before it goes out. But it is going to be, it's probably a little bit too late actually. Loda's going to lose that item. So this push from No Tide, pretty much just a pressure move. Try to put a little bit of damage onto the tower, but if the fight breaks out, I don't know if they could actually handle it, because the initiation from Storm Spirit will come through. They're not going to have that element of surprise from the relocate. There's the blink forward from Hani, catching 2 in the first polarity, instantly stunned. However, they're taking a lot of damage, but they should be fine. Screw it back. Loda is going to drop from this, and Puck as well. Lose your Orb, going to fly through. Puck tries to make his way out. Cogs are up, but he gets caught by the disruption. Ira could jump himself in. Admiral Bulldog stuck within the illusions, and he's on the run. Cogs doing a lot of work. Hookshot out, and Spider-Man is going to live to see another day. However, the Storm Spirit getting slowed down by the Rod of Atos. The missile is flying. Admiral Bulldog's got to run away from this. Cogs once again just to slow down any creeps or any units that are coming, but Ira could just jump over that. Blinding Flash, another defensive move being burned. Skewer forward from Hani, going to catch Admiral Bulldog, slowing him down just a little bit, but the Mana League going to prevent Magnus from really chasing, as well as the Rod of Atos. So No Tide, they're on their way out, and they should be just fine. Possibly even wanting to turn around for this one. know Bulldog does have the hook in 20 seconds. Pipe as well if he really needs it, but teleports out from Fnatic. And no Tide. They're going to lose the CK as well as the Wisp. Unfortunately, the Aegis reclaimed at the most inopportune moment. And Loda did drop his death. I mean, if that Aegis proc, then no Tide would have just rallied, taken a fight, at least come out even on that. But instead, they lose the puck, they lose the CK. They're going to try to make it go once more. Keeper of the Light, though, does not have his ultimate for another 20 seconds, so they can't instantly bring them in. So this push is going to have to wait and end. Going to find the Keeper of the Light. Oh, opening up with the Spike Carapace. And Era's going to come right in for one more lightning ball onto the Keeper of the Light. Really, Keeper of the Light did not see that one coming. You couldn't really do anything at that point besides not be there. But, yeah, the ward completely spotting him out. So N knew that the Keeper of the Light was there. Using that Vendetta to go in. Initiation stun from Spike Carapace. How often do you get to see that? So Fnatic, although they are still behind, the lead is crawling more and more towards no Tidehunter. It's still shown that they could take good fights when it really counts. The blink forward from Hani catching 2. It's not really the most impressive as far as the numbers go, but the 2 that he caught, Puck as well as CK, those are the 2 that you really, really want to catch. And he was successful in doing so. Wisp, though, he's level 14, maxed out his overcharge. So this CK, if he could finally start to do some right-click damage, then he could really make a fight happen for no Tide, but that's a pretty big if, because he keeps on getting caught out, and he keeps on getting killed before he could actually pop off that BKB and Phantasm and really start right-clicking. In the fight that was in this area down here, the CK got in, and he was allowed to just right-click away because he didn't die right off the bat. So that's going to have to happen for no Tide if they want to take an even fight. Otherwise, Fnatic, they're going to focus their stuns towards him. Focus the CK when you're firing off that Impale. Focus a missile on him. Hell, that'll even work. Or in the reverse polarity as well. Get the Storm Spirit to jump in on him, who has gone for an Orchid. So now Era could even look to make some solo kills happen. Level 16 on the Storm Spirit. His initiation isn't going to get any stronger, although S4, he's going to look to make initiation happen. The Wisp is a little bit too far away from that CK. And S4 is going to spot out with his Illusory Orb. They know that there's some people on this top lane, and going to use that Vendetta to try to catch off Eggum, and he is going to be successful in doing so. No gem, no true sight. And can he take down the Wisp? Wisp is incredibly tanky. So many strength items on him. With the help of Hani, it could be possible. There's initiation onto Eggum as well as Storm Spirit. Eggum is dead in an instant. And now Loda's got to run away. Teleport away. Reverse polarity being used to cancel that off. And Loda, with his BKB charge, has to stand and fight at this point. Here's a relocate coming in from the Wisp. Loda can pop off his Phantasm, getting a stun onto N. 2 seconds will be more than enough time to kill him off. No more follow-up, however. Nick Assassin's the only one to go. Killing off the Wisp, as well as forcing out the buyback in exchange for an Assassin. Not sure if that's totally worth it. Loda's going to get a free trip back to the base. Not sure if he actually wanted that. They're going to go to the mid tower where Trixie has been pushing that. Going to head straight towards his Butterfly. So he wants to get that evasion. Really, really needed against that CK. He hits hard enough, but then you have to start worrying about those crits. And if you can dodge that, then you're going to be in pretty good condition. CK is going to be a very, very long ways away from any sort of MKB, but it'll latch in onto No Tail. The tether's there as well. No Tail perfectly chain stun. He's going to cast Disruption on himself, but I don't think that's actually going to help him. Puck with the Orb is going to get the kill. And no Tide. The Roshan is up. They could go straight for it. 2 down. Shadow Demon as well as the Nick Assassin for another 0 seconds, but Loda does do enough damage. He's going to go for a heart. And Roshan thinks it's a tornado, but he's going to die regardless. Really, Fnatic, either they don't know about it because they don't have the ward coverage, but or they don't want to contest it, but either way, the Roshan is going to go towards Loda once again. Let's see if he can use it this time. Because if he can use it, it doesn't really matter if he gets initiated upon. Then he will just bait out all the stuns, come back, turn on his BKB, pop the Phantasm, and go to town on the Fnatic side. The gem as well up on Aki, solidifying this map control advantage that no Tidehunter have by having the Wisp, by having the Keeper of the Light to pull people back and forth, as well as these global rocket flares from Admiral Bulldog, slowing down the push just like that. They're going to make a straight push down in the bot lane. Bot lane push, take 2. This time, Aegis is more than enough in that duration. But a straight push in, is that really the best course of action for no Tide? We're going to have to go and see, wait and see. Because Loda on the front lines, tethered up, looking for Reality Rift stun on someone. Overcharge is going to commence, but their fortification is popped. They're just going to fall back. Looking for Reality Rift once again. Movement speed from CK. Reality Rift onto Trixie. Trixie, what are you doing there? He's going to get hexed up and dropped in an instant. There's the blink forward. Going to catch Silence onto N. Admiral Bulldog can pop off the pipe as well. Loda already opening this up with the double kill. Initiation onto Admiral Bulldog, who's completely without support. Going to catch a couple people with that giant Illuminate. The trading clockwork for a Shadow Demon in the end. N is still alive, chasing everyone down. Aki does have a gem, however, so N's got to be a little bit careful. Is that a Shadow Blade? No, it's an invisibility rune on Magnus. They're going to keep going for this. They do still have the age. Trixie going to drop once again. Trixie bought back, and he's going to die once more. There's Reality Rift only. There's the reverse polarity only onto Egg. I'm going to sear everyone back, but it's going to be Loda just sitting in the middle of everything, not even with the BKB, just right-clicking away, and it's going to be a triple kill for him. Fnatic, they're going to buy back the Nyx Assassin, but with no damage output, Ira really can't hold this off with the help of Nyx Assassin, even if Shadow Demon is alive. Reality Rift onto N, stunned up and annihilated. Ultra kill on Loda. He wants more. He wants blood. Looking forward for a Hex, and No Tail is going to be the Rampage for Loda. Gonna get a double Rampage? Yes, double Rampage for Loda. GG has been called, ladies and gentlemen. 18 to 35, and No Tide close it out 2-0 over Fnatic. Getting those very important points over Fnatic because they are very, very close in this tournament. Thanks for watching, guys. Fnatic have had enough, and really, this is what happens when Loda is actually allowed to attack. If Fnatic could chain lock him down twice and kill him off with the Aegis, then they could have had an even fight, but that just simply wasn't going to happen. So, No Tidehunter will take the set 2-0 over Fnatic, and I think that might be all that I could do before my break, so hopefully this gets up in time. And that's going to be it, guys. If you enjoyed this set cast, then like, subscribe. If you didn't, then let me know what I could do better in the future. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. GG.